Mindfulness is a word that gets thrown around a lot these days, and it can be confusing because it seems to be connected to Buddhist philosophy. And actually, it is found in Buddhist philosophy, so it's really important to understand the difference between Catholic mindfulness and Buddhist mindfulness. First of all, we believe as Catholics that Jesus Christ is God. At the same time, we believe that each of us are distinct, individual, uniquely created beings. Each one of us are really separate individuals. This is very different from what the Buddhists believe about created reality and reality as they experience it. Where we allow for this mystery of the Trinity, both the three and the one, Buddhism doesn't allow for there to be a mystery. And so when it comes to the experience of the very self, a Buddhist will say that that's an illusion. The self does not exist. And at the same time, they would also say God does not exist, because that would be something distinct from you. And there are no distinctions in Buddhist philosophy. Obviously, we don't believe that. This is very different from a Christian worldview and from our theology, our philosophy, the way that we think as Christians. So those are the two systems, the Buddhist and the Catholic system of thought. Now let's look at mindfulness. Mindfulness is a step on the path to enlightenment for a Buddhist. Mindfulness can also be practiced as a Catholic. How can that be? Well, let's look at what it is. Mindfulness is simply awareness of the present moment. For a Buddhist, that's one step on the way to then understanding that that is an illusion. For a Catholic, that's a step for us on the way to understanding the beauty of God permeating His creation and the presence of God and the presence of our very self. So just because it's on the path to enlightenment for a Buddhist doesn't necessarily make it something that's wrong in itself. We can say the same exact thing about mindfulness. Allowing ourselves to learn how to be aware of the present moment it's really a psychological technique or a psychological experience. What you do with it really depends on your worldview, your religious belief, or your philosophy. So if you're a Buddhist, again, that means you're on the path to discovering that everything you're paying attention to is actually an illusion. Or if you're a Christian or a Catholic, you're on your way to having a better sense of yourself, a better sense of God, a better sense of what's real around you. When it comes to prayer, for a Christian, mindfulness is not prayer. Mindfulness can't be a replacement for prayer. So sitting and simply being aware of your breath is not a kind of prayer. However, it is a way to calm the mind down so that you can enter into prayer without distraction. And this is really important. So that's the difference between Catholic mindfulness versus Buddhist mindfulness, and that's also the difference between mindfulness and Catholic prayer.